So if I ask you to look at your to-do list right now, how much of it actually needs to get done and how much of it is just noise that you feel guilty deleting? So we often tell ourselves, I just need to work harder, or I need to find more hours in the day. But if you're balancing a full-time job while trying to build a creative side project, you know that time is the one thing you really do not have. The real problem isn't the lack of effort, right? It is a lack of boundaries. You're likely suffering from information overload and the pressure to say yes to everything. So today we're not just talking about time management. We're talking about a commitment audit. I'm going to show you how to ruthlessly prioritize so you can stop feeling burned out and finally start seeing those tangible results you've been working so hard to achieve. So if you are an ambitious working woman looking to build a life of more flexibility and freedom without the burnout, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I release a video every single week that helps you build a productivity system to manage your full-time job and your side projects without burning out. So I want to share a story about one of my clients. She is a project manager and is incredibly capable. But when she first came to me, she described herself as being overcommitted and disappointed in herself for not getting the things that she wanted to get done. She has so many ideas and other projects in her head and really did not know where to start because she was burnt out not only from her full-time job and a side project, but from all of the things that were in her head, all of the other projects and the ideas that she wanted to get out there. And in her own words, she told me, I used to feel constantly stressed because I was overcommitted. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, please let me know in the comment section. Through the process I'm about to teach you, my client went from overwhelmed to focused. And she recently told me I can actually predict and control my week, right? And that is the point. You need to be able to control your week. There are a lot of things that, yes, might come up that you do not expect, but you need to be able to get to a place where you can easily reset and actually control the trajectory of your week. So this means you need to create boundaries, not only around people, but equally around the tasks that you choose to do. You need to be able to say no to people and no to tasks that are not necessarily important right now. The game changer for my client was learning to prioritize her one thing and really cutting out all the noise. So let's look at how you can do the same. And because I know how overwhelming it can be to start prioritizing when everything feels urgent, I have created a free weekly reset blueprint specifically to help you declutter your schedule and focus on the tasks that actually move the needle. This is the exact framework that we're talking about today. So go to the link in the description box and download the guide, or simply comment weekly guide below and I'm going to send it to you. The first step of the commitment audit is an energy inventory. When I talk to women who are struggling with time management and productivity, one of the biggest pain points that I hear is that they struggle to find the energy to dedicate towards any tasks after a long, demanding day at work. The truth is you can have 2 free hours in the evening after your full-time job. However, if your full-time job has drained you completely, you won't even have the capacity to work on any of your side projects. And that is exactly where burnout comes from. So what I want you to do right now is pause this video. Make sure you come back, but pause this video, take a notebook and do a brain dump. But we are going to do it a little bit differently. I do not just want a list of tasks, right? I want you to actually brain dump in these 2 categories. The first one is your active commitments. And that looks like your work projects, maybe gym activities, meal prep, your side hustle tasks. And then the next, you want to brain dump your mental load. So this is the invisible stuff, right? If you're worrying about that client's email or planning a family vacation or feeling guilty about not posting on Instagram, I want you to write that down too, because that mental load is heavy. Next, I want you to look at that list, go through that list with a highlighter. Mark each item as an energy giver, which is a plus, or an energy taker, which is a minus. And I want you to be honest, right? Does scrolling social media for market research actually give you energy, or does it just make you feel overwhelmed because of the information overload? If you look at your list and you realize that 90% of the tasks on your list or projects on your list are energy takers, it's no wonder you struggle to be consistent. Many of you struggle with inconsistency simply because you're trying to treat each item on that list with equal importance, but they aren't equal, right? When everything feels important, nothing is. You need to identify which of these tasks actually move the needle to that work optional lifestyle that you are striving for, and which ones are just keeping you busy. So the problem isn't that you do not have enough time. It is that you're operating in an energy deficit. You are spending so much energy doing the not so important stuff. And again, I have created the free weekly reset blueprint specifically designed to help you declutter your schedule and focus on the most important important tasks that actually help you move the needle towards your goal. So comments planning guide below in the comment section, and I'm going to send it to you, or simply go to the description box and download it for yourself. So I want to hear from you in the comments. Look at your list. What is the one thing you are currently committed to that you secretly wish you could quit? Maybe it's a volunteer commitment or position, a specific social obligation, or even a side project that isn't working or you do not enjoy necessarily. Drop it in the comments below. Let's vent out, right? I really want to hear it. So now that you have your inventory, we need to sort it out. And this is where we really have to change your mindset. In so many of my research interviews, a lot of women told me that lack of boundaries is definitely an issue when it comes to them trying to get things done. And this, unfortunately, most of the time leads to the feelings of guilt. So you feel bad for saying no. But I want you to reframe this. Boundaries are the only way to protect your work optional future, right? Because for most of us, that is what we're striving for, where we hopefully do not have to go to work or be in the corporate world, because it sucks. But we are going to use the keep, batch, delete framework to turn your chaotic list into a functional system. So I want you to go down the list that you just created and assign every single item to one of these 3 different categories. The first category, or the first bucket, is the MVP, right? Which is the most valuable priority. And that is simple. Your one thing. I just wanted a nice phrase for that. So I came up with that, but it's mainly your highlight for the day, your one thing, right? Your most valuable task, project, priority. So these are the keep items. These are the things that are important. These are the things that you want to do. But here's the catch. You cannot keep everything. You cannot just go through the list and be like, okay, I need to keep this, keep this, keep this. No. You need to identify the tasks that actually lead to tangible results. Even if it's down the line, even if it takes a long time, but you need to identify tasks that lead to tangible results. Like maybe launching a website or starting a blog or actually creating that product, whatever that looks like. And like I said before, one of my clients that we talked about earlier in the video, she mentioned that one of the biggest game changers for her is prioritizing her one thing. And this has been a game changer for me too. So by focusing on just one major needle mover at a time, depending on her life circumstances and her goals at the moment, she was able to cut the noise and stop feeling scattered. So you want to mark this with maybe a check mark. And in the planning guide, I do have a ChatGPT prompt that can help you figure this out if you're struggling to really know what you want to think right now in the season of your life. Make sure you download the weekly reset template or simply comment weekly reset and I'm going to send it to you. Now, the second bucket or category is maintenance. These are things that are recurring maybe every day, every week, every month. And this looks like laundry, grocery shopping, responding to routine emails, maybe paying your bills. Now, the mistake you're making is giving these sorts of tasks your MVP energy. Instead, what I want you to do is batch these tasks, right? Or these projects. I want you to do this all at once during a low energy period. When you have low energy, that's when you should be doing the laundry. Now, when your energy is high and you can really think creatively and you choose that time to do laundry. No, please don't do that. So you want to batch this maintenance tasks during your low energy window. And this helps you manage your energy so you're not drained when it's time for you to actually dedicate and work on your side projects. Now, the third bucket is the clutter. And this is simply the delete pile, right? This is the do not do, throw away, delete. Don't waste your time on. And these are the obligations that are purely fueled by guilt or the fear of missing out. Maybe it's a coffee chat with someone who just wants to pick your brain for free, doesn't really add value to you, or it could be a volunteer role that you've simply just outgrown, right? So you have to be honest. Does this align with your goal of flexibility and freedom, especially in this moment, in this season of your life? If yes, then you have to accept and acknowledge the fact that you choose to do this and trade off your time that you could be dedicating towards something else, like your side project, right? Now, it's not wrong. It's just something that you have to accept and deal with and be like, okay, this is actually important to me, so I'd rather do this right now and pause on my side project. And that is perfectly okay if that is what you want to do. Now, I know when it comes to the clutter bucket, it is very hard for you to let go of some stuff because it feels uncomfortable. But remember one of my clients' words. Before she did this, she felt disappointed in herself because she was always overcommitted and she couldn't catch up. She couldn't meet up to all of the commitments. So once she started auditing her commitment, she could actually predict her week, which again is the goal. So saying no to the clutter is actually saying yes to your sanity, to your peace, and to success as a whole. Again, if you want to do this in just 10 minutes, I do have a prompt in the weekly reset template. Download it in the description box or simply comment weekly reset and I'm going to send it to you. So doing a commitment audit is empowering, but I do understand that fear creeps in, right? So you might worry about ineffectiveness or fear that the system is not going to work because previous ones have failed. But what makes my clients go from chaos to clarity is the ability to control what they actually let into their week. And it is simple. When they focus on one thing at a time, they get more done because they're able to achieve their goals by completing projects rather than doing too much and thinking about all the things that you need to do, but not really getting the things done. So I want you to remember that focused energy leads to big results. However, scattered energy simply leads to chaos, burnout, overwhelm, insanity. Not insanity, but it leads to burnout. And even if you do get results after all of the chaos, you simply do not enjoy it because you're too burned out for it to even mean anything. So you deserve to achieve your dreams, right? Whether it's a business, a side project goal, whatever that is, you deserve to achieve your dreams without you sacrificing your health or your sanity. So the commitment audit is great for clearing the deck. But how do you keep that clutter from coming back week after week? It's simple. You need a routine. So I created the free 7-step weekly reset blueprint specifically for women like you who are juggling a career and a creative side project. It is designed to help you take the insights from this video and turn them into a consistent routine. So it's going to help you map out your one thing, set realistic boundaries, and finally feel in control of your week like Lyra did. So click the link in the description box below and download the template, or you want to simply comment weekly reset and I'm going to send that straight to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do not forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to this channel, and share with someone who needs a productivity boost. And make sure you watch the video on the screen next. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.